The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field, or at least they think so. Join them this week as they talk about Let's Do the Odyssey. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello everyone and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 72. I'm your host, David. Let's do the Odyssey. Company today with James.
It's time to jump up in the air.
And Skylar.
Jump up, don't be scared.
And Jordan.
Jump up and your cares will soar away.
And we could finish the rest of the chorus, but that's really long and
sing.
Wonderful. That's
but that song is just so jamming, guys.
It is so catchy. It's so catchy.
Good. So good.
I can't believe that they put in such a good jazz song into a Mario game with lyrics and everything. Oh, it's so good.
Man.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Well,
Skylar, calm down. Calm
down.
Take a deep breath, because today's episode is pretty much about one of the most anticipated games of the year, which is Super Mario Odyssey. And no, we haven't forgot about Zelda Breath of the Wild as one of a huge anticipation type games, and I probably butchered that sentence, but whatever. But dang, we are excited for this 3D platformer of Super Mario Odyssey. We'll be talking about our hopes and dreams for the game and some things that we hope they don't end up doing. But before we start with this conversation, I just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page because, you know, these episodes are going up early as a reward for those that support us. You can check that out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And of course, if you want to talk about this episode, check out our Discord community at ninten.city/Discord. Let's jump right in.
I'm glad you made that emphasis.
Oh, I get it. No,
it's okay. It's too above your IQ level to be.
Oh!
You gotta like Rick and Morty in order to be able to understand that joke, you know, because it carries such a high IQ.
But that could be for some other time.
So, Super Mario Odyssey comes out later this month. It comes out in like a week and a half. Something like that.
I know, it's
from
really
today.
So
it's very soon.
It's 15 days from now.
Yeah, and today is October 12th. It's Thursday before this episode comes out.
2 weeks.
So
a little over 2 weeks.
Oh man.
I want to mention first and foremost that even though there's still an embargo on review scores, the Edge magazine was released/leaked a little bit early, I guess.
It was like a day early.
It was leaked by them. They specifically only targeted snippets that don't break embargo.
Yeah. But anyway, they gave it a perfect 10, and I'm pretty sure that's just the first of many perfect 10s that the game will be getting in the next few weeks.
Watch it be the other M of Mario's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did other M get 10s by anyone else?
They got high scores at the beginning, and then it started drifting into low scores.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't happen like that, because it looks so good.
It won't.
Just another side thing before we delve into some of our stuff. It was really cool seeing the Nintendo World Championships this last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Especially since the final round between the reigning champ that was coming back for defense and who is now the new champion, their final challenge was against a boss from Super Mario Odyssey. I guess a level leading up to a boss as well that we had never seen before. Like, it was awesome, and it just helped.
We kind of seen like snippets of him, but we never see like the whole fight. Yeah,
that's what I mean. But oh man, it was so great just seeing that stuff. But anyway, I just thought that you should know that we've been we've been keeping an eye on that kind of stuff and seeing what's coming out for Mario Odyssey. So, speaking of things that we've already seen for Mario Odyssey, what are some of the things that we can't wait for, that we're super excited about, that we've seen in trailers and stuff? Who wants to go first?
It's a banjo game.
Oh, good. Sorry, Jordan. Oh no, that's a great point. Jordan, start off with that.
Banjo and Beyond.
Whoa! You
Banjo
collect
3.
stars like Banjo. It's everything I wanted from Mario, to be more like Banjo. Like, one of my biggest complaints about Mario has always been that you start your missions, you go through the one mission, and it takes you all the way back to the hub world, and then you have to go back into the world and then see where the next star is. I want it to just be open and seamless between every star, and they finally delivered on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Banjo speedruns, and I played Banjo a few months ago, and it's really nice seeing some of those design elements be put into Mario. I totally agree with you, Jordan.
The amount of transformations is stunning.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh, man. There you go. Transformations, just like Banjo.
Yep. Banjo and Beyond.
Yeah, I can't believe all the transformations and or things that you can possess. I guess it's capture, according to Nintendo. Yeah. It just kind of boggles my mind because there's just so many like inanimate and animate objects that are, you know, a T-Rex to a some sort of traffic cone thing. Like
yeah,
I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's crazy, you know. And you'll be possessing peoples, maybe dogs, bonsai bills.
I want to see the code base for this, where they had to, for every single object, require something about, like, how does this object, like, react when it's possessed or anything.
So seriously, though, that must have been a nightmare to figure out at first.
Oh man,
or not? I don't know.
There's just so much care and time put into for what we've seen this game. Gosh, Nintendo, masters of game development, I tell you.
It's so good.
I just want to run around those overworlds so bad.
Oh, me too.
All those moons. It's gonna be so great.
Oh man, you know, I was hearing recently that the number of moons is comparable to the number of Korok seeds.
Well, the
which is really
in the first world alone, there's 69 moons, right? And
yeah,
there's
I think so.
At least 10 worlds.
Yep.
Yes.
And so mathematically, that's over 700 moons.
Some worlds might have a lot less than that, or much fewer.
That's
possible. What I see, like, it seems to fluctuate. But if someone's saying that there's going to be as much as the Korok seeds, I mean, I guess we can expect I don't know, like, each world to have at least maybe 15, 20 at the very least. Maybe 10, I don't know. But still, it's really fascinating because the Korok seeds were kind of this overwhelming. I mean, they were great until you had to 100% it, kind of a feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like with this game, because they're the main objective and there's a lot more variety in how you find these, I bet you that this is going to feel totally different. And getting, if it is 900 moons or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it won't be the same 10 puzzles over and over again.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, they're also named and numbered.
Yeah, they are.
That's a lot easier to find and handle, probably.
And going back to that Banjo-Kazooie comparison, like, a lot of these moons, you know, some of them you have to complete really long segments, kind of like Super Mario Galaxy from what we've seen, but a lot of the moons are just like hidden in little locations. Like, if you were good enough to explore this area, you're rewarded with a moon and stuff like that. And it's a lot like how the Jiggies worked in Banjo. A lot of them were a lot easier than some of the other ones. A lot of them were out in plain sight, some of them were hidden, some of them were behind bosses, all this kind of stuff. And I guess you could also say the same thing for Super Mario 64. It's just, they're bringing back the style of, there are so many of these collectibles, and we're going to reward you for doing things rather than just following a path straight to your objective.
You wanted a collectathon? Here you go.
The ultimate collectathon. Like,
Yep.
holy cow. Oh,
Take
it's
it.
amazing.
Hold my beer, Donkey Kong 64.
Sorry, DK64.
You're no longer there.
Mario
the
is
greatest
Italian.
one.
He probably has a margarita. Wait, no, that's Hispanic. Never mind.
Oh, and from what
Martini,
I've seen
yeah.
as well, some of the boss fights that we've seen, it looks like there are several different methods to taking out the bosses. Like, different ways of using Cappy or jumping in certain ways to take out these bosses. And I think that that's something that, Mario has been good at times, but at other times hasn't been so great at. The variety of strategies to take out a boss. It's almost like Zelda, where you have to figure out a good trick to take out the boss quicker, but there are several different ways in some cases. I don't know where I'm going with that. Just that the bosses actually look fun in this game. It reminds me a lot more of Mario Galaxy in a sense.
Yeah, they do look a lot of fun, but at the same time, I feel like there is only really one way to beat them. For example, well, okay, maybe just to keep spoiler free, maybe we won't. Maybe I won't go into one, but I feel like there seems to be a set pattern in how to beat the bosses. But they're fun and quirky and not like things we've seen before.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'm excited for the bosses, and I'm also very excited to see what they do with the final boss. I'm not gonna say who I think it is because I think it will maybe spoil things for people. But it ends with, or it starts with B and ends with Bowser. So
Wart. Final
yes.
answer.
Oh dang it! I told you I didn't want people to spoil it. Gosh,
Dude, Wart cameo. Here we go. Wart cameo. Warren Waluigi will be doing combo right there.
We'll talk about Waluigi in a minute.
But I hope they don't mess up that boss fight. I hope it's this crazy, almost like, I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll say that for what I hope to see.
I hope it's like more intense than the Mario Galaxy final fights.
Yes,
I thought
exactly.
the first Mario Galaxy was fine. It was the second one that
It was
kind of
fine.
a problem. Because the second one,
Yeah.
they had this epic track, and you beat him in like a minute.
Yeah, well, you beat him like 30 seconds and the track's gone. And you're like, well,
You can't even
that
listen
music
to the
was
full
great for how
track
it
in
lasted.
like the boss fight.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, the first one's good. I hope that it's like definitely comparable to the first one, but I'd like it to be more epic. As epic as fighting Bowser in the center of a galaxy with the freaking planet and galaxy being formed around you was.
Right.
I think they can go even bigger.
Real quick before we move on from what we've already seen, because I accidentally did that. My bad. I just wanted to mention how bad I want to play as a T-Rex. That is my 6-year-old Power Ranger loving side coming out. Being the Red Ranger who is the T-Rex. Oh my gosh, I just want to be a T-Rex and just stampede over things.
You could be a
And-
T-Rex and Banjo.
Yeah, but not that impressive.
What?
And it took them until the second one to make that happen. I'm just messing with you. It's really cool. I love that about Banjo-Tooie. Because, I mean, the first Banjo game, Mumbo teases it sometimes. Like, maybe I'll make you a dinosaur or something. I don't remember what he actually says. But then they actually delivered in the second game. Anyway. Yeah, I think that being a T-Rex is going to be really cool. I remember seeing the freaking first trailer at E3 that we saw. And I saw the giant dinosaur and I was like, is this supposed to be like for Monster Hunter or something? Oh, nope, it's got Mario's hat on it. Oh, this is from Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that was.
And it looks really cool.
That was just like, what the heck? Anyway, so sorry, I just really wanted to mention that and how excited I am for that. But as far as what I hope not to see, I'll just go back to the Bowser thing real quick. Is that I don't want the final fight to be just jumping on Bowser or grabbing Bowser's tail or something that we've seen in previous fights. It would be so awesome if it was kind of like a back and forth possessing things, almost like how Super Mario 3D World's final boss fight works. It's a little different because it's side-scrolling and everything, but I feel like that fight was really cool and creative in the fact that Bowser himself had the cat power up or whatever. I mean, that was kind of weird looking.
Bowser in a cat suit, didn't you?
I can neither confirm or deny that. but I don't know. Like it would be so cool to see just like going back and forth. Like Mario possesses or captures whatever a bullet bill, but Bowser gets a bonsai bill or something, and I don't know, like something along those lines would be super cool. And anyway, there's a lot of things we could probably come up with, but there's only going to be one version, and that's the version Nintendo came up with. So I hope it's not lame. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Have we actually seen eyes on Bowser's hat yet? I'm not saying that it's not magic, and I totally think it is because
I'm pretty sure we have.
I don't think we have. Not from what I've seen, but maybe I missed it.
Yeah, but because I know we've seen it on Peach's tiara. But I can't recall seeing it on Bowser's top hat in the videos lately.
Yeah, I don't think we have. But I too would be surprised if he doesn't have one of those ghost hat thingies.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. It would make absolute. It would be insane not to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see until the actual game, unless we have seen it. You can let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll look it up afterwards. So yeah, those are some of the things that we have seen that we're incredibly excited for because the game looks fabulous. Let's talk about some of the things that we hope that are in the game that we haven't seen.
Yeah, like the Bowser fight.
Yeah, we talked about that, but you know, what else are you guys excited for that we haven't seen or that you want to happen?
Well,
I want different difficulty modes.
Ooh.
I'm really worried that this is going to be a little too easy on the easy side. Most recent Marios have been. But
yeah,
it'd be nice to have additional difficulty modes, or at least have the game just be by default fairly difficult.
Like, are you hoping for a kind of thing like the comets from Mario Galaxy, like the Daredevil runs where they only give you 1 health but for the entire game? That kind of difficulty, or
for the whole game? What? Oh man, I don't know how you would really implement that in this sort of thing. Maybe just make it so enemies are faster, I suppose, so they react to you better.
With the sheer quantity of moons that they collect, I'm sure they'll make some of them easy and some of them really hard.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. But Jordan, there's something you're missing. They do have different difficulty modes. It's just only one way. You can only get it easier. You can't get it harder.
Ah, dang it. Not that
one. There's like a mode where it's like assist mode. Whenever you fall off a ledge or something, it does the Mario Galaxy where, you know, when you're in the hub world, it kind of floats you back.
So the bubble.
The bubble, yeah. So, but obviously that's not the standard mode. That's like assist mode or something like that. I feel like the difficulty, kind of similar to what Skylar was saying, is going to be in finding some of the moon pieces. But at the same time, I feel like this game is less focused on difficulty and more on the whole exploration and just feel and wonder of the game.
I know. It's just that if the whole game is just too easy, then it feels like it's kind of just a chore searching for all these things.
No, I see what you're saying.
Simple to do.
But at the same time, I do think that they'll have moons that are a little more difficult to get or
I hope so.
grab.
On
but
top of that,
maybe I'm wrong.
An additional thing that I would like to see is if we could get another post-game world. They do this in most Mario games, but have like a world where if you 100% up till like so far, then you unlock an additional world.
Yeah.
Islo Delfino.
And then have that post-game world be really difficult.
Isle Delfino.
Yeah. That will most certainly be a challenge like that at the end. There will. It's just how Mario games are now.
Right.
Like in Mario 3D Worlds, that last final
Oh
level.
my word!
It was so brutal.
I was just like, I'm not sitting in on this. I'm a bird at this point.
The last time I played it, though, I did beat it pretty well, but that's because I spent like 3 hours learning that one stupid level the
Oh
first
my
time I played it.
gosh.
3 or 4 hours. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I do hope that the difficulty works out, but it's like I don't think about difficulty in a lot of 3D platformers, but I guess that's just because all the classics have, like the difficult stars or the difficult jiggies or difficult collectibles that I guess I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
Or the impossible bananas in DK64's
Oh
case
my
with the
gosh.
minigames.
I've
Yeah.
100% that game 3 times now.
Why? Why would you
You are
torture
inhuman.
yourself?
Because it was fun.
Not the last
He loves
two.
a good 3D platformer collectathon.
It's good up until you have to do the beaver barrel challenge. And you have to do it twice because they were too
yeah.
lazy to have an additional
The
banana. So
beaver
they just
barrel
copied
wasn't
the worst minigame in the game and put it in a second spot.
the beaver barrel wasn't the one that got me. It was the one where you have to shoot like not chunky, but like shoot the bananas when it goes dark.
Oh, really?
'Cause it switches so fast. You
It's
just basically have
always
to.
been the beaver barrel one for me because that one
Really?
Yeah, it just seems buggy. I never have grasped like a hold on how it works.
Yeah, it's pretty buggy though. There's some things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Hopefully Mario Odyssey isn't buggy though.
I just want
I don't
Super
think-
Mario Odyssey to make me feel like a kid again. Like when I play this, I want to feel the
Yeah.
same way when I played Super Mario 64 when I was a kid, or played Galaxy for the first time.
I 100% agree with that. I mean, yeah.
You know what?
I
Oh, sorry, David.
Sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead.
My thought is a tangent, so go.
I was just gonna say, like, I think I've said on this podcast before that Super Mario 64 was one of the first games that I actually really played, and it was up at my cabin, and I would sneak out as early in the morning as I could just to play Mario 64 on the N64 out of the room that I was sharing with my parents at the time. Yeah, I definitely want to feel like a kid again. Your turn, James.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I too would like to feel like a child, but for me, the game that did that recently was Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Not saying this game can't do it too, but I want, what I'm saying is I want to be able to feel like how I felt with Mario and Rabbids, and I'm sure I will. But it's that whole like just excitement. I don't want to put this game down. There's this wonderment and excitement that both those games I hope are able to capture.
I've been having that feeling all year though with Breath of the Wild and
Good
Sonic
point.
Mania.
I had that
and
with
now
Breath of the Wild, too.
Time.
It's the year for our generation, We're getting our Ocarina of Time reimagined, basically, with Breath of the Wild. We're getting our Mario 64/Banjo reimagined.
Well, it's
Sonic's back.
90s nostalgia is finally in.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We're done with the 80s. 80s is old now. It's not even nostalgic. It's now all about the 90s.
It's old.
Yeah.
Man,
No.
just look at the Splatoon shoes.
I know, right?
I will say that my feeling with Breath of the Wild, although it was amazing, it was a little different than Mario and Rabbids, and I think it will be different than Super Mario Odyssey. I don't know why exactly, because I mean Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games ever made. I don't know this. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's hard to put my finger on it, so I'll just move on.
Well, it's going to be hard for Mario Odyssey to top Sonic Mania for nostalgia for me. I'm going to say that much just because
That's
classic
fair.
Sonic is my childhood, whereas Mario, I was kind of a Sonic fanboy and didn't stick to it too much during the 90s. Sonic and Banjo, I just always thought Banjo was superior. But hey, maybe this will bring out my Banjo nostalgia.
Ah,
I hope so.
Mario killed them both.
Oh no.
oh my god. Skylar's a little cocky there.
It happened. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah.
They make jokes about it in freaking Banjo Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah. In fact, in an early build of Nuts and Bolts, they had a Mario level with like an outline of Mario on the stage, but Microsoft forced them to remove it.
Yeah.
Was it like kind of a white chalk kind of a thing? Like he was
No,
dead?
it was the level was shaped like Mario.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was more of like
It
a
was this
stab at
8-bit
Nintendo.
sprite.
It's like
With like all the coloring and
next.
everything, and if you look at Banjo or Nuts and Bolts trailers, some of the early trailers they show it.
oh really?
That's funny.
You know, something that I wanted to see that I loved from Sunshine and 64 and Super Mario Galaxy was a hub world, but I know we're not going to have that. The closest we have to a hub world is the Odyssey, the ship itself. Not a whole lot to do on it. I mean, I guess you'll have like collectibles or something like that, but they're just to look at, not to mess around with or explore. So, and that's kind of disappointing, but I've gotten over it, and it's not the main reason I play a 3D Mario game like this. It would have been nice to have that.
Yeah, especially since I wasted hours upon hours just in the hub worlds of Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
And even Banjo, I guess. Like, I spent so much time in there. I remember, like, just wanting to play inside the castle in Mario 64 sometimes. Or just Delfino Island, just finding all those little secrets, just figuring some things out. So, I mean, it is a shame that there is no hub world, but I can see why they didn't put one in. And plus, we have huge overworlds in this game that we can see with tons of moons, like we've already talked about. So, I think I'll be okay. So, but I totally agree. A hub world would have been nice.
Another thing I'd like to see in the game is just a bunch of cameo appearances. Particularly like to see Waluigi. I mean, he's never really debuted in a mainline Mario game. I mean, they got Pauline in here. I think they could do Waluigi. I know that they said they wanted to do a lot more Mario character cameos.
Yeah.
In this game, trying to show off more characters. Hey, maybe Ward will come back. You know, I mean, that'd be great.
As a side boss or something.
No, he's the final boss. Excuse me.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You throw vegetables in his mouth because he hates them so much. Maybe just go to Mario's Dreamland and fight Wart.
Wait, what? What if Wart is one of the bosses in the Chef Kingdom or whatever that place is called with the actual vegetables?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible.
Confirmed giant Wart battle, and you play as Waluigi throwing vegetables in.
You capture Waluigi.
You capture him.
vegetables in.
I would say you could capture vegetables, but that's much better.
Wow!
It'd be so great.
Waluigi!
I just want to see him in a mainline game. Is that too much to ask? Maybe it is, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Like, there's an interesting relationship between Nintendo and Waluigi. I hope they kiss and make up. But not on the lips. Who knows where that man's lips have been? He's a disgusting man. Anyway,
speaking of cameo characters, I'd love to see Daisy again in a Mario mainline game. I would love to see Daisy.
She's done it before. We need Waluigi to.
Waluigi is definitely on the top of the list, but I would love to see Daisy, especially since Daisy is my little sister's favorite Mario character. My sister Amelia. I love Daisy. I really do. But that's my wish for it.
Yeah. I don't know.
You gotta tap your Daisy amiibo.
I am Daisy.
That's what she yells when you tap the amiibo.
No, that comes out of Mario. Mario shouts
word.
it like that. That's the only thing the amiibo does. Just
That'd
kidding.
be really weird.
The character I want to see, and so I'm going to steal Skylar's note here, is Luigi. Not just Waluigi, but Luigi. Just like in Super Mario Galaxy where you can play as him, I want to play as him in this game too.
Could you imagine if the reward for 100% of the game is you can then start a new file with Luigi as a playable character?
That's how Mario Galaxy 1 worked.
Well, yeah, but Galaxy 1 had 120 stars. and then just to like pour salt in the wound, if you 100% with Luigi, they give you Waluigi as a character.
See, that would be freaking great because oh my gosh,
Talk about a way to arbitrarily just like triple the playtime of the game.
Oh my
And then Wario. No. It goes Mario, Luigi, Wario, then Waluigi. So you have to beat it 3 times 100% to get Waluigi.
What would be the characteristics of Wario and Waluigi?
Wario doesn't jump as high. He just but he hits harder or something. He can break.
Okay, so he does double damage and doesn't jump as high. That sounds like a nightmare to play.
No, it would
There's
be
your
so
hard
great.
mode, Jordan.
See, they would
And then
like
Waluigi, he never stops. He always is sliding. There's no friction for him.
Have you played Mario the Super Mario 64 DS version?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wario would play just like that, and then they would make Yoshi skin Waluigi. Except he sticks his tongue out still and eats stuff. Yeah.
Oh my word.
He would definitely be a great pick for the one-on-one fight with Wart.
No, I still like the idea of playable Waluigi, where he's like Luigi, but he never stops. He's always sliding, but he jumps really high.
That would be insane.
That would be hilarious.
The only way you stop is if you hit into a wall. So you've got to like perfectly time your jumps if you want to stop.
See, that would still be better to me than getting a giant, Korok seed crap turret at the end. But I mean, getting more playable characters. When you 100% Waluigi, you unlock the real final world.
So you have to beat it
Waluigi
4
world.
times. Oh my god.
Maybe it's
And
Waluigi
it's just a
Kingdom.
world of Waluigi's nose is on everything.
Oh no! Yes. Waluigi Kingdom, and everyone has Waluigi's nose
Yep.
and mustache.
This is why we're not game designers.
What are you talking about? It's a brilliant idea. You can leave.
You know how many people would love that though?
Actually,
I mean, I would, but
you see,
I don't think I speak for the greater populace of fans.
but I do.
It would be so great.
I'm just
It would
kidding.
be, it would be the
Well,
best thing
Skylar is an ambassador, so he does.
I am your Nintendo ambassador.
Yeah, I'm a Nintendo ambassador too.
Hey, you do.
It hasn't gotten me
Take-
anything aside from a few virtual console games that never got released. But
Well, I still have my certificate. I'm just going to Nintendo right now.
I am your Nintendo ambassador.
I speak for the fans, like the Lorax speaks for the trees.
And we want Waluigi's Kingdom. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Even if it's paid DLC, I'll take it.
Whoa.
$20 DLC.
That'd be hilarious. One last thing I'm going to mention, we kind of already mentioned already, but just wanted to drive it, is the fact that I want Isla Delfino. But I don't think it's going to happen, actually. I feel like it's just like kind of a cameo or Easter egg on the map showing where it is relative to everything else. But it would be amazing if we could go there and at least do something. Maybe have like a couple moon pieces there and explore just the main hub world. That'd be a lot of fun. But then again, I don't think they're gonna do it. Just
Well,
that
that kinda-
out there.
that kind of ties into my last one. I want to say is I really hope there's more worlds than have been shown, aside from like the supposed 10th world, which is. I hope they haven't even shown like the majority of the worlds. I don't want everything to have already been spoiled for this game.
Oh. Yeah, well, this is definitely the moment where you kind of, if you don't want things too much to be spoiled, you got to just stop, because Nintendo is probably going to put out a lot of things.
Yeah, the only things I've been looking at are just the three trailers or so that they put up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, I haven't seen gameplay of any of the worlds or anything.
Yeah,
I want to play those.
yeah, they're putting on gameplay. They had a couple of Japanese commercials come out that showed some pretty major things. I mean, snippets of it, but still major. So it's kind of like, it's getting to the point where it's, okay, whoa, hold up. We got to save some of this. But I imagine there still will be a lot more. I just don't know how much more, you know? So I'm with you, Jordan. I hope we see at least, I hope there's like another big world out there that we just haven't seen.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's at least one more big world, because it's definitely hinting at it, especially since so far they've revealed, 9? So
Yeah.
even 10 would round it out. I just hope it goes beyond 10.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like
That
the
would be good.
moon.
Like 15 or something.
Yeah. But that might not happen just because of how large these worlds are.
Yeah. Well, if they wanted to do a Mario 64, then 15 would seem like the right number.
Yeah. 15. But with the sheer number of moons that we've seen in some of the worlds, based on the numbers, 15 would be a lot, I think.
Well, they don't need to put 69 in every single world. They could just do like 30 or 25.
Yeah, and I mean, I just pulled up the good old calculator. If there are 900 moons, like there are the number of Korok seeds, for 15 levels, that's 60 moons a level.
So that would make sense then.
That's perfect. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, so maybe, some of them having more than others, because we have seen one that has like 69, I think.
That was the first one, I believe, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it could work.
I think so.
I hope it is.
I feel like it would be
now
a little less than 900, even though like I said, I heard someone say it would be around the same. But also, I think there'll be islands that are rather small kingdoms or islands or whatever. And we mentioned this before.
Yeah, they announced the small island kingdoms, but how many of those exist?
Right. How many moons are on there, So.
Yeah.
I just want more variety of environments to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lava world yet, have we?
No.
I think I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure, man, I don't know if I want to say it. It hasn't been confirmed, but it could be a big spoiler.
See,
so maybe
that's so weird, because 9 worlds is already more environments than Zelda has.
Sure, but it's kind of different.
You expect a lot more different environments in a Mario game than you would in a Zelda game. I mean, at least I do.
Yeah.
Oh, either way. That would be a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do think that mathematically it would make sense to have 15. And it would be nice, 6 of them haven't been revealed yet to us.
So I guess I'll keep my expectations low and just be like, yeah, we're going to get 10 worlds, but hopefully we'll get more.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I did want to mention, I forgot about this. I really like the idea of the paintings being back. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I haven't.
Nope, I have not.
Crap! All right, I won't talk about that. I mean, it's not big like Mario 64, but it's not as important.
Oh man.
Anyway, it's
that's
not like
what you get for being on the Nintendo News podcast. So
gosh dang
I'm
it.
sorry.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. There'll be little surprises for you. They'll be cool.
Yeah.
I just
actually I'm not even
it.
sure if we really know what they do. Or maybe
we don't. They've just talked about it.
My guess is if they are around, they probably take you to, those platforming levels that were in Mario Sunshine where they took away Flood?
Yeah.
I imagine they would do something similar to that.
That'd be cool.
Could be.
No Cappy from Mario. And then he takes double damage.
That works. So take away Cappy and then he has to do traditional Mario platforming. That makes sense.
That would be cool. And it would be like Mario 64 when you lose your hat, you take double damage or something like that.
I guess. I mean, you only have 3 health, don't you?
Yeah.
So does it even matter?
I guess you'd have one fewer chances to get hit. I don't know. But either way, it'd be cool to have some levels where Cappy's taken away from you. Like Flood
that would
was.
Be cool.
Well, cool. Are we missing anything? I can't think of anything else.
I do want to go over things that we don't want to see happen. If that's okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
One thing is I want there to be no more collectibles other than what we have seen so far.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like the anti-banjo.
Anti-banjo.
I know. I love the inspiration and the things they've taken from banjo. They've taken the best things out of it. But let's keep the collecting down to just the moons and the pieces and the individual coins and everything. I feel like that is perfect what they have right there. If they have to, maybe like a hidden Toad or hidden Luigi or something. I guess
I don't know. Hat in Time did something interesting where one of their collectibles is backstory pages for the characters in the world that you're currently in. And so I'd be okay with something like that showing up.
True. I would be too.
Something entirely optional, basically, and it gives more depth to the world.
Yeah, if it expands on the story, or I don't know, is fun instead of just being there, then that's that's A-okay with me. I mean, if it's just like a random collectible that doesn't really do anything at the end.
Random thingamajig, it does nothing but get 100 of them every level. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I don't know.
There's 100 Korok seeds in every stage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Korok seeds they were good up to a point, and that was when you got your whole inventory. After that, it was just you're just 100%ing this game for a piece of poop that's spray painted gold.
Yep.
Unless
they do poop gold. Do the Koroks poop
Well,
gold?
spoilers. I haven't gotten all the Korok seeds yet. Nah, that's fine.
Skylar already said it though, so I felt like it was okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
Poop.
I swear, like a
poop.
few of you guys tried to slip it to me a few times before I got all 900.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, I don't think I really knew actually. Anyway, so it's, for me, the Korok seeds, they ended. The joy of really like collecting them ended after their usefulness, and it was a letdown. That was the 100%. I mean, I guess where else do you go from there? I don't know. But with this game, the moons are like your main objective, and that's why it's so great to have them as the collectible. And the coins end up being kind of, if you want to get all of the outfits, which I do, then you got to collect them. You got to get as many as you can.
Just gonna run around the whole game as Dr. Mario.
So did you hate the collectible coins in like pretty much every Mario up to this point?
Like, for example, this is a common one. The sunshine, the blue coins. I just kind of was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Obviously, you can get a sun sprite from them if you collect enough, but I don't know.
Well, like with New Super Mario Bros, they always have 3 coins in every level. Have you always been against that? They have no purpose.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who plays a Mario game to collect everything, which is blasphemy to probably people like Skylar, who they feel like that's how you play a Mario game, and I understand that. But for me, I just want to enjoy just going through all the platforming and just beat the game, and I don't want to worry about having to collect these things that don't really matter, other than putting an extra flagpole at the top at the end or whatever. But that's just me, you know. I'm not saying like it's bad to have that per se, but I'm glad that they don't have this extra fluff.
Yeah,
that's my mindset. I don't know. Were you okay with that kind of stuff?
It seems like the coins are a lot more useful this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
They're not random collectibles. I mean, you don't have to 100%, Mario games to get the full picture of it. But for me, like James was saying, it's just an extra challenge. Like, it's usually a platforming challenge to get them.
Right.
That's where the hard part comes from.
And
It's
you can see the
collectibles.
difference between me and Skylar in the fact that I'm definitely more of a toddler when it comes to playing some of these platforming games.
If these collectibles do nothing, why does it even matter to you then, James? Like, you're not going to get them anyway, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess, like, that's a good point. But I guess it's more of, I don't want to, I don't have that nagging feeling like, oh, you're missing this and you didn't really complete the game. It's like, but I beat the level. And I know that's kind of it is very childlike.
They'll have gold stars in every level just to give you the gold star of completing the level. And you never got it, James.
Because I'm a loser. No, I don't know.
There'll always be an empty star on every level on the checklist.
I hate that so much.
Well, it's not like a joy for me to see that either. But at the same time, like I kind of feel like if I can't get it and it's just taking the enjoyment out of it, I just like, okay, just whatever, go on. I don't worry about it.
And my thing's always been like, well, I've 100% every Mario game so far. I might as well just do it with another one.
Right. I mean, that's totally fine.
We're not going to see Skylar for a few months.
The what?
We're not going to see you for a few months.
Well, that's how it was with Breath of the Wild. It took me a whole month to get everything.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I feel like I sounded like a bad guy there, but I don't know.
No, that's fine. Like, I understand it. It's just, I think it's fine to throw in more extra collectibles like stars and all that stuff. And if you don't like it, then I guess just don't pick them up.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess I don't want to like ruin it for other people, but
because like Skylar said, those extra collectibles usually do mean an additional challenge for people who are obsessed with platformers like Skylar and I.
Have at it.
I don't know. I'm just excited to play the game.
Is it something you don't want to see happen?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about that. I just really hope that there aren't, I don't know, too many like, you know, like the 2.5D type levels that were in Super Mario 3D World. What I mean to say is, I hope that some of the platforming challenges, like, because we know that there are some that require you to go from point A to point B to get moons. I hope that some of those segments aren't as kind of cheesy, I guess, as the 3D World one. I don't know. I just didn't really like 3D World, to be honest. I didn't see the appeal to 2.5D platforming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
The only thing that will crush me in this game is if there's a run button.
Yeah.
Let's go
I
to
recently played
the demo.
3D World again, and the running in this game, or in 3D World, was terrible. Especially since when running, you weren't even really running. You were like walking fast.
Yeah, it takes way too long to build momentum.
I don't know.
Because when I'm playing Mario, if there's a run button, I might as well just tape that down. I never stop holding it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast all the time. That's the part of the challenge. Is not stopping. And then you put the Waluigi mode in there where you're just constantly sliding all the time. It just compounds, you know?
I would love that so much.
Since there's no friction, Jordan, he just continually speeds up until you switch directions.
Yes. So you just start like... Well, you should be able to change directions and stuff, not just like... but you can't stop moving, and you just constantly build momentum, and you're like always like just going faster until you hit like your max momentum, because otherwise that'd get stupid. And then you just have to like, you're forced to run through every single level at top speed. That'd be great.
So, you know, dear listener, forget everything we just talked about this whole episode. All we want is Waluigi mode, okay? Thanks. I'm just kidding.
If there's no Waluigi, we're not giving this game a perfect 10 out of 10.
Oh,
But wait.
It'll get like a 9.9.9, but I don't know where that
did
extra
give it a
0.9
10 out of
came
10.
in, but
So that
it can't
means
be a...
Waluigi's in the game.
Waluigi's in the game!
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, dude.
Oh, man,
We've cracked it. We've cracked it. Well, great. I think that wraps up our Mario Odyssey discussion, don't you guys think?
Yep.
I think we've talked about it pretty good.
Here we go, off the rails. You know it's time to raise ourselves. It's freedom like you never knew. Go back or pass. Say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my head, it's up to you. Oh,
Hey everybody, this is David, just hopping in the middle of the episode, like I normally do, to give you a few reminders and let you know about some of the things going on at the website. I first want to direct your attention to our social media accounts, particularly Facebook and Twitter. We've been keeping good track of these two services. We've been posting all of our news that's been going up, all of our articles, and all this awesome stuff, so that you can follow along and make sure that you know when we publish and what we publish. You can check out both of those accounts at facebook.com/Nintensity or twitter.com/Nintensity. They're both pretty much the same, and it's pretty easy to find us that way. I also would like to remind you about our Patreon page. I know that I shout out to it a couple of times in each episode, but I just wanted to let you know that we are still publishing these episodes early as a reward for those who support us, and that's one of the most direct ways that you can support us. So be sure to go to patreon.com/Nintensity to check out what we're about and check out some of our earlier episodes. We do have plans for some other rewards for our patrons, and those will be rolling out fairly soon, I believe. I'd also like to remind you to check out our website at Nintensity.com. We publish lots of news, we publish the show notes for these episodes, we publish opinion articles, and we publish reviews, and a bunch of different things. Lately, we've been publishing the best news, and it's been really kind of cool to see some of the cool stuff that Nintendo and other companies have been doing lately. On top of the news, James has launched a new YouTube series called Nintendo City Weekly News, that's the name, where he takes the top stories from the previous week and then meshes them all up into a video for your consumption so that you know what's going on. Yeah, you should go check that out at our YouTube. Just search for Nintendo City or find one of the episode show notes on our website. That's about it for me this week. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Be sure to share the show with your friends. It's the only way to really get the show out there to other people. I mean, just one Facebook post every so often is really, really easy to do. You can just go to the show notes by going to nintendo.city/EP71, and then there's a nice little Facebook share button that you can share the show notes with. I know you know how to share to Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of rambling on. But like I said, it just would help us out so much if you'd share the show. That's all I've got, so I'll let you guys get back to this episode. Thanks.
Time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Just jump up and your gas will slow away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't be so shy because I'll be your one-up girl. Now listen, all good boys and girls all around the world, don't be afraid to get up and move. You know that we're all superstars. We're the ones who made it that far. Put a smile on their face. There's no time to waste. So let's do the Odyssey.
So let's move on to our weekly segment of what we've played this week. We need to give that a cool name. We'll workshop that. Anyway, this is the segment of the podcast where we talk about what we've been playing this week, just like the title totally means. Anyway, I guess I'll go first. It's been Metroidvania month for me still. I just 100%ed SteamWorld Dig 2 the other day. Fabulous, fantastic game. My written review should be up fairly soon. I've been really busy the past few weeks. But expect that. Enjoy it. I loved the game so much that I went back to my 3DS and I found out that I had the first game downloaded. And so I started playing that one. Just as a side note, I'm not liking it as much as the second one. It's like... I was talking with James a little bit before we started recording, and it's basically like the first one had a lot of really good ideas, but they were really fleshed out and realized in SteamWorld Dig 2. And I love Dot, or Dorothy, the character of SteamWorld Dig 2, more than I like Rusty, but that's just me. Fabulous game, highly recommend it. I'm not sure what the final score I'll give it is, but it's probably going to be 8 or 9. It's really good for SteamWorld Dig 2. And then I just had to say that I got an SNES Classic last night. Ran over to Target. Saw on one of our Facebook groups that a different Target in Utah had some in stock, and so I walked up to the electronics counters. I was like, he's like, "How can I help you?" And I was like, I know this is a long shot, but do you have any SNES Classics? And he just gave me this look. Like, he was trying to hold me in suspense, just stared at me for like 10 seconds. Not really, it felt like 10 seconds, but it wasn't. And he just says, "Do you want one?" And I was like, "Yes." And I kind of began to freak out while he went into the back room and grabbed him. So I bought one right on the spot.
Sounds like more
played a few of those games.
Under the table kind of thing. Hey, you got the goods? Do I have the goods? Yeah, I got the goods. You got the money.
Yeah. Right, so, some crack. I was like, no, that's not what I meant.
No. You mean those goods? Oh, that's gotta cost you extra.
Yeah. So after launching Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Yoshi's Island, and maybe one more game, I settled on playing Super Metroid for 4 hours yesterday. So basically, it's Metroidvania month for David, because once I finish these games, I'm probably going to buy Axiom Verge. If I can get to it before I get to Mario. So, yeah.
The physical version of that should be coming out soon, so I'll be picking that up as well.
Yeah, it should be coming out within the next week.
Wow.
Very cool. Oh, that's all I've got. Metroidvania month for David. Metroidvania is one of my absolute favorite genres of video games. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been. Well, I guess I'll go next. I've been playing a smattering of different games. A few games that I've been reviewing. They're on the website. I guess I'll start by talking about Unboxed Newbie's Adventure.
Oh boy.
It's a 3D platformer that feels like Monkey Ball if you could jump and you were a square. That's basically the most I can
How
get
can
out
it
of
be
it.
monkey ball if you're a square?
Look, okay, you roll around the ground like in this box form. You don't really move, and you pick up momentum and stuff. It's weird, really really weird. And you jump, and then you have the special ability called Unboxed, which is what the game's named after. Which you like shed an outer shell of yourself to jump farther. I kind of wish they would have let you have this ability the whole game, because they take it away, like periodically, just for certain segments and things. When you're finding stamps, is what they call this game's collectible. It's hard to. This game is really hard to describe, per se. Just because it doesn't look the best either. The art style could have it's really cute, but there's grainy and you miss frames all the time. I can't really recommend this to anybody who likes 3D platformers, especially at the current price of $30, which is what they're charging for it. When you can get so many other games equally the same price or cheaper that are better than this game.
Yeah, and it's also weird because it's on Steam for only $20. So...
I think the problem is that Unboxed is having a physical release next month on a Switch. And they seem to do this like Nintendo thing where they like to keep the digital download the same as the physical for some reason. Even though Axiom Verge didn't do that.
Neither did Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah, which it's weird to me. Like, this game is not a $30 game.
No.
I'll just say that right out of the bat. It's not fun for $30.
I think we're seeing that with a lot of these games, where it's just they seem too high in price. And I wonder if it's just Nintendo just muddling it all up.
Yeah, I wonder, because in my mind, I'm like, this game, before I realized what the price of the game was, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this is probably about like an $8 or $10 experience, maybe. It's super short. It was only, I beat it in like 6 hours, 5-6 hours. Didn't take me long at all. And when I looked at it and saw it was $30, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Right,
So-
and that's because Prospect Games provided the copy of the game for the purposes of the review. So
Yes.
So if money weren't like part of the equation at all, like what were your thoughts of the game if we were to take if let's say it was a free game?
It'd be fun if it was free. But I guess playing it's okay. It's not great. It's not amazing. It's just okay. Most of the jokes are corny. It's in like 5 languages. So
that's cool.
I guess if any real major country can play this game. But, I mean, it's just okay. That's the overall takeaway. It's just an okay experience. Do you like Monkey Ball, George?
I do like Monkey Ball.
Do you wish you could jump in Monkey Ball and that you were a square?
I don't wish I was a square in Monkey Ball.
That's
That doesn't make
exactly how I
sense.
felt when I played this game.
My head, it just hurts thinking how everything works.
Yep.
You'll have to watch a trailer for it just to like kind of see how it ends up working. It's an interesting game for sure. I mean, a lot of people have been really excited about it. It's gotten decent reviews on Steam of all places. Like,
Well, what's its price on Steam?
$20. So it's $10 less than on Switch.
Well, Steam, the only people giving it good scores are some of the users.
Yeah.
It's not like the professional outlets are giving it those scores.
Nah.
Yeah, but sometimes that's all that matters.
That's true. That's what I thought too going into it.
So,
if you want it, wait for it to come down in price.
Okay. Yeah, I think you gave it a 6.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all right. It's not a bad game. So,
Yeah, it's a very positive status on Steam.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Cool.
the trailer now. It looks fun, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So what else have you been doing, Skylar, other than Unboxed?
I played Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Put a review on the website for that too. This one I bought myself. All I have to say about this one is if you're a fan of the original game, maybe don't pick this one up because they changed way too many things. Like the core mechanics are just not there. Like you can't even switch between Mario and Luigi freely on the screen anymore, and the whole move switching thing has gotten kind of convoluted, kind of muddied. And then the Bowser's Minion part, it's a fun little side project, but not really worth the whole price of the package.
Okay.
The good parts, though, is that the story from Superstar Saga is still there, and the art looks really good. The updated graphics.
I've never played Superstar Saga. Would you recommend I pick this up or hunt down an original GBA copy?
Well, for knowing you personally and you like things harder, I'd say pick up the original. Because Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is dumbed down. It's for people who have never played a Mario and Luigi game before.
Well, I haven't, but
Well, you know what? Give it a shot. Then pick it up if you just because I would be interested in knowing how somebody who didn't grow up playing this game over and over and over again would feel playing this game. Because as for me, it kind of killed the nostalgia a little bit because I got periodically angry that they left something out. I get periodically mad that they took out this little tiny, like really cool Easter egg in the game, kind of detail. So they took out Gino. Gino's not in the game anymore. Spoilers.
Really?
well, I think that's mostly due to copyright problems.
But here's the other thing they took out. They took out Dry DK. The dry bones version of Donkey Kong. From the
Oh
game.
yeah, that
And-
they had in the ship mini game.
I can understand Gino because he's copyright, but Donkey Kong is their character. Why the heck is he?
But
not
is
in this
Dry
game?
Donkey Kong their character?
Yes,
Who
Dry
made
Donkey Kong is
Mario
their
and
character.
Luigi?
Alpha
Was it
Dream.
a-
Alpha Dream is still making this game,
Okay. Then yeah, I have no idea.
and they also took off the fighter pilot helmets and stuff off the Koopas and made them more generic. I was really upset, but I mean,
Interesting. Lots of little details just taken out. Huh.
yeah, they just got rid of details, and I'm not a fan. Then I've been playing Stardew Valley. I won't talk too much about it just because everybody always talks about Stardew Valley. And and Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, the DLC, because I never played the DLC that I had purchased originally.
Oh, really?
You get a few extra characters, which is pretty cool. Other than that, it's not really worth the price.
Yeah, I can see.
Man, kind of a downer week for you.
Just like one disappointment after another. I'm just kidding. Well, Stardew Valley was fun.
Yeah, was Stardew Valley
Gotta-
good at least?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with Stardew Valley. A lot more than I thought I would. It reminds me of Rune Factory a lot, and I really love Rune Factory. So
That's
it's
good.
like Harvest Moon, but better, basically.
Cool.
Yeah, today my roommate was like, I had an extra key for Stardew Valley. I'm like, oh, I want it. He's like, oh, I already gave it to someone. Like, what? I'm your
Why
roommate.
would you say that?
Why would you? Who'd you give it to? Some random person online.
You're dead to me.
Why do you hate me? I'm just kidding.
Cool. What have you been up to, James?
I've been in my bed all week. No, I'm just kidding. So I've been playing. Well, first off, I got a review copy. Jordan and I, we both got copies for Earth Atlantis. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about that first. So
Well, I kind of want to hold off on Earth Atlantis until we've kind of beaten the game, but I don't know. You could talk about it if you want.
I mean, I'm not gonna give a review or anything. I'll just like say something real quick, like first impressions kind of thing.
All right.
Just you know, I feel like there could have been a lot more here, and there's just moments where I feel like it just lost potential. It's almost like a boss rush in a sense, but
Except that the bosses aren't near each other at all.
yeah, they're not near each other. You're kind of lost at where you're going. There's really no direction, which I guess kind of leads to this exploration, but it's not fun to explore. You die quite often, at least I did, and I just wish you wouldn't like lose everything, and I just feel so weak compared to everything. Anyway, it's a little frustrating.
I think we kind of should explain what Earth Atlantis is. So it's kind of this shmuppy, and I don't want to say Metroidvania. It's set up to be like a Metroidvania style map, but you're not collecting collectibles while going through the map at all.
Mm-hmm.
All you're trying to do is get from point A to point B, because point B is a boss, and then after it dies, another boss appears at a different point, and so then you just try to go over there. And the map stays the same, and it maybe takes, 10 minutes to get from one end of the map to the other end of the map. It's not that hard to traverse between these tunnels, and you don't really... as you're traversing through these tunnels, you're collecting power-ups and stuff to get your submarine more and more powerful. But if you ever die at any point, you lose everything, and you just start back at a different starting point. The only thing that has stayed the same is that the bosses you've beaten are now dead. And I think James and I are, I don't know, it's hard to measure how far we are in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't unlocked anything yet. And I'm starting to worry how you do unlock stuff. And it feels like it would have been a lot better had it been a roguelike game where the map's always changing and you're always collecting new unlockables. And even though you die, at least you unlock certain things. So every time you start, it feels like they have a strong foundation set for the core mechanics of a shmup and a good art style, but didn't make the game part.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but
it's fun. I enjoy the bosses. It's just that I wish there was more connecting the dots together.
Exactly. But then again, we haven't beaten the game, so who knows? Maybe you do get the upgrades sooner or later. But they do have like a percentage thing for how many bosses you've killed. If you get out of the game and you come back in and you select continue, it shows you like the percentage.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and you actually can see all the bosses that are in the game. There's like 30 something bosses.
Holy cow! All right, this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a lot longer. And so that's what I'm worried. Like, wait, do I have to go through all 30 of these bosses and then I unlock this power up? Is that how it's going? I mean, again, I don't know. So stay tuned to find out what happens. I will say I did have to switch to easy mode because I was getting wrecked in normal mode. I couldn't even get past the 5th boss. So goes to show you how good I am at that. But, easy mode has been a lot better. And then the last of the game is Yono and the Celestial Elephants. This is another game we got a review copy for. And I am in love with this game. It is amazingly adorable, and it's Elephant Zelda. What more can you say? So it is a little more on the kiddish side of things. Like I think it could be meant for small children, but I personally am still finding a lot of enjoyment in it, and the puzzles may be simple, but they're still enjoyable, and the story is kind of like endearing, and there's actually some backstory here with these celestial elephants, and it's really surprising. I didn't expect this game to have lore or whatever. So I've been really impressed. It starts off small and then it gets really big. Like each individual world gets bigger, and there's a few. I've been through a few dungeons. The combat is very simple. Like, it's not difficult at all. The one boss fight I have gone through was a lot of fun, and it was kind of a creative way to do it without, you're not really a Link with a sword or anything, so you have to use puzzle pieces in a sense to beat the boss, and it's a lot of fun. At least that boss was. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here, and you can expect my review on that next week sometime.
Cool. I'm excited to read about it. I've been interested in the game for a while, so cool. Jordan, other than Earth Atlantis, what have you been up to?
So I recently got A Hat in Time, which is absolutely phenomenal, let me tell you.
I want to play it.
But so originally this game, I believe it started off as a Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successor. And as they developed along this game or whatever, I guess it was supposed to be Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Psychonauts mix, spiritual successor. They sort of branched off and kind of made their own thing. It feels unique. It feels like a new franchise of platformer, basically. It definitely has the whimsical humor of the golden age era of Rareware. There's one level where I just I couldn't stop laughing. It was just absolutely hilarious. And every level kind of has it doesn't have the big open, well, it has the big open worlds of Banjo, but it does also have the Mario style of, you have your missions of go from point A to point B, and once you get to point B, just in some way, every time it's different, but you'll get your star basically. But it's still a lot of fun, and these missions are very, very varied. Some going from the traditional go around the island finding these 6 spots to turn off the lava spouts, to solving a murder mystery on another mission. The supporting cast, they feel very, very Rareware-like. The humor is spot on. It's kind of dark at times, which is, they throw in some dark humor every now and then, which is kind of surprising considering how lighthearted the game looks. It kind of has like a Conkers feel at times, but not to the point of Conkers.
Yeah.
But they do make some more morbid jokes at times, which it does kind of feel out of place, but they're still funny.
This game looks really good. I've been watching some gameplay of it. I kind of wish it was on my Switch, but I understand why it's not. But I'd like to play this game.
It's so good. I really hope they make a sequel. If you want to see just my favorite level, if you're not planning on picking up the game, at least look up a Let's Play of Murder on the Owl Express, because that level is absolutely hilarious to watch. But if you are planning to pick it up, just go pick it up. Don't sit on the fence any further. Just go get it.
Yeah.
Cool. I hope it makes it to Switch one day. Probably won't, but maybe it will.
It's also nice that this game can basically say suck it to all the people who said that Yooka-Laylee proved that you can't have a good camera in a 3D platformer game.
Oh.
That's funny.
Because the game... I was watching an interview with the director of the game, and he said they spent an enormous amount of time making sure the camera felt right and the character controls appropriately, and they definitely hit the nail on the head. Even for being such a small team, it's clearly possible. It's just that Yooka-Laylee fell short.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it's apparently so good that it's already got a speedrunning community around it. You know,
they designed some of the mechanics specifically for speedrunning. So as you start the game, you can do a double jump, and then you can also do a dash or whatever. But with this game, you also could do L canceling when you hit a ground to immediately jump again. And so you can go dash, 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 and just go flying across the screen. Yeah, and you can cancel any jump at any time, and it's you can just go flying like none other if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's really cool. I want to play it. We'll see what happens if I do get it. Like I said before, I have so many games I have to play through in the next few months.
My only concern is that Mario may kind of butcher any future growth for A Hat in Time, because I don't think it can compete against Odyssey.
Probably not.
I will say that Hat in Time kind of reminds me of Sunshine, which I mean they took inspiration from 64 and Banjo. I don't know, there's something about it just kind of says Mario Sunshine to me, but it also says Banjo.
It looks good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So I think that'll do it for us this week. thanks so much for joining us this episode. Your support means a lot coming from some humble podcasters. We really appreciate you listening.
Yes, we do. And we would also appreciate if you check out our music composer, Skylar, over here. He's just over there. Say hi, Skylar.
He's waving his hand. He's jumping up and down a little bit. Just, never mind.
Skylar do exercise? You're kidding me, right? I'm just
I
kidding.
threw my arm out today. I stood up a little too fast.
So when he's not standing up too fast, he's usually making music, and it's pretty great. So you should check it out on his not Discord, his SoundCloud, and I recommend checking out his Boo Merry-Go-Round one from N64.
Because it's spooky times.
It's spoopy.
Too spooky for me.
And I'd like to shout out to our Patreons, Chris and Chase. Your support means a ton. If you want to join them, go to patreon.com/NintenCity. Remember, the episodes go up early as a reward for those that support us.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. Head over to nintendo.city/discord to join us today.
And that'll do it for us, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. We'd also like to remind you to check out our website at nintendo.city.com, where you can find news, show notes, and so much more. This week's show notes are available at nintendo.city/EP72. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye!
See ya.
Goodbye, you good people.